Okay, let's talk about India. I mean, the scale is just staggering, right? We're talking about 1.4 billion people. And get this, they're spread across more than 600,000 villages. So it really makes you wonder, how on earth does the world's largest democracy actually work at the most local level? In the places where most people actually live. Well, we're going to dive right into that.
And you really can't understand any of this without starting with this core idea from Mahatma Gandhi. He famously said that the real India lives in its villages. He believed the true heart and soul of the country wasn't in the big cities, but out in this huge network of rural communities. And that's not just some poetic thought. It's a deeply political idea, and it shapes everything we're about to get into.
And believe me, this isn't just some old historical idea. It is a demographic fact, right now, today. Think about it. Almost 2/3 of India's entire population lives in rural areas. That's hundreds and hundreds of millions of people. So that brings us right back to the big question, doesn't it? With a country this massive, how do you even begin to create a system of government that's actually responsive, that's local, and that's genuinely democratic for over 600,000 different villages? It seems almost impossible.
Well, to answer that, we've got to zoom in. I mean, way in. We're going from the massive scale of a subcontinent all the way down to one single village.
So let's imagine we're in a place like Lakshmanpur, a small village nestled in the Himalayan foothills. Now, the problems people here are facing, they aren't about national defense or foreign policy. Nope. They're about the things that matter every single day. Things like, hey, the monsoon rains washed out our main road again, or how are we going to get enough water for the fields this season, or the roof on the local school is leaking. So who fixes all that? Well, the answer is a system that was built specifically for this. It's designed to take on exactly these kinds of local problems and to push power all the way down to the grassroots level. It's called the Panchayati Raj system.
And what's so cool about this, the whole core principle is self-government. The idea is simple, but it's powerful. The folks in a village like Lakshmanpur shouldn't have to wait for someone in a far-off state capital to fix their road. They should have the power to participate, to make decisions, and to solve problems for their own community right then and there.
So here's how it's all structured. It's basically a three-tier system. Think of it like a pyramid. Right at the bottom, at the village level, you've got the Gram Panchayat. These are the folks elected directly by the villagers to handle the day-to-day stuff, water, roads, that kind of thing. Then, one level up, you have the Panchayat Samiti. This is at the block level, and its job is to coordinate plans and resources for a whole bunch of villages. And then at the very top of this local structure is the Zila Parishad at the district level. This is the big link, overseeing all the blocks and connecting them up to the state government for things like funding. So it's all designed to let local issues bubble up.
But a system is just a system, right? It's just lines on a chart. The real magic, the real power of Panchayati Raj, you see it in the actual people who run it, the leaders who get elected. We're talking about the Sarpanch, which is basically the head of the village.
I mean, take someone like Jnaneshwar Kamble in Maharashtra, a transgender woman who ran for Sarpanch and won, beating out 6 other candidates. It's just incredible proof that this system can open doors for really diverse voices. And her motto? It just says it all. Service to the village is service to the public.
Or how about Vandana Bahadur Maida? Her story is amazing. She comes from a tribal community in Madhya Pradesh and became her village's first ever female Sarpanch. She completely defied the old patriarchal norms, put a huge focus on education, and actually went out and encouraged other women to jump into local politics. A real game changer.
And look, the impact these leaders can have is just profound. There's this guy, Papa Trao Power. He became Sarpanch of a village that was just constantly getting hammered by drought. So what did he do? He led this massive effort for water conservation, planting trees. And together with the villagers, he literally transformed this dry, struggling place into a green, prosperous community. I mean, that is grassroots power making a huge environmental and economic difference. Now, it's really important to get this. Stories like Vandana's, they're not just happy accidents. The system is actually built to make this happen. There's a rule, right in the Constitution, that reserves at least 1/3 of all the seats in these local governments for women. It's a way to make sure they have a guaranteed seat at the table. Okay, but what if I told you this system goes even further? That it doesn't just stop with women and marginalized groups, but it actually brings in the youngest members of the community? Yeah, I'm talking about kids.
It's this remarkable thing called the Child-Friendly Panchayat Initiative. And in some states, you have these Bal Panchayats, literally children's councils, where kids learn how to get involved. In Maharashtra, they actually ran campaigns that helped end child labor in their villages. In Rajasthan, a children's parliament got kids advocating for better schools. And in Sikkim, the adult council actually listened to the kids and built safer school walls and cleaner kitchens for their lunches. It's all about teaching democratic values from the youngest possible age. It's just brilliant.
All right, so let's zoom back out for a second. We've seen the details, we've met some of the leaders, we've even seen how kids are getting involved, but what does it all mean? Why does this grassroots system actually matter for a massive nation of 1.4 billion people?
Well, it really comes down to a clear division of labor. You've got the central government in New Delhi, and they're handling the big picture stuff, right? National defense, foreign policy, the huge economic issues. But the Panchayati Raj system, it's laser-focused on the immediate community needs. Clean water, sanitation, that washed-out road. They're two totally different jobs, but both are absolutely vital parts of the same democratic machine. And that's the big takeaway here. That's why this matters so much. This whole system empowers that 2/3 of India we talked about, the people living in the villages. It gives them a real, direct way to point to their own problems, to come up with their own solutions, and to genuinely shape their own futures, one village at a time.
It's just this incredibly powerful model of decentralized democracy. And it kind of leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? No matter where you are in the world, just think about it. What are the local problems you see every single day? And what could a system of real, hands-on, local power do to solve them in your own community?